Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where today I'll be talking about Angry Birds Stella and Bad Piggies unused content to finish out this unused content Angry Birds series. Next week will be the mega video with some fixes from the previous videos. For example, there was Star Wars, the music was too loud in one part, and the Angry Birds Transformers, the music was also too loud. So since my Angry Birds Stella game is not working, I'm gonna have to do Angry Birds Epic as the background footage for the Angry Birds Stella part, so sorry about that. Anyways, let's begin with some Angry Birds Stella. First piece of unreleased content is the telepods, in which a telepod was supposed to be released in December of 2014 for a Spring Day costume for Poppy, but it never ended up releasing. While the art for the costume is finished, the related photograph is unfinished. Two other costumes for Luca are in the game's files. The first one is Luca wearing a black beanie, and the second one is Luca wearing a yellow afro wig, both of which are in the game's files still. There are also some telepods that have prototypes but no sprites in the game. They were seen in a display case in Toy Fair 2014. Next up are two worlds, the most famous one being Chapter 3. That has said for coming soon for at least 8 years now. Chapter 3 was likely inspired by Mine and Dine, a chapter that was in the original Angry Birds. And there was also Chapter 4, which would have been a circus, but both were scrapped when the game was discontinued. Next, we have some game graphics. There were critters, which were supposed to be in the game, but just like Chapter 3 and 4, it was scrapped because the game was discontinued. The critters did appear in Stella's Angry Birds animated series, Stella's Super Interactive Annual 2015 book on pages 42 and 43. Finally, some pigs and blocks go unused, those being Dino Pig, Ghost Pig, Chewing Gum Pig, Small Snail Pig, and Diva Pig, and a gearbox. To start off, we got an unused cutscene for Chapter 2, where some pigs are capturing clams and Stella drops in on them. And finally, there's an unused app icon. To end off Angry Birds Stella, let's talk about some debugging functions. There are debugging functions in the game. It's probably similar to the other Angry Birds games built with Lua, but unfortunately there are no functions requiring multiple corner clicks to skip the level. But everywhere is an FPS plus memory display, which is present. Menus, a back button is always displayed. Touching it appears to crash the game, possibly. In cutscenes, block load values are shown. Also, possible to skip all cutscenes at any time, which is pretty nice. There are some lost and found items. There are some lost and found items that are unused and unfinished, such as the hang glider that appeared in Own Disguise, Stella's headset, a pig mask from a Halloween short movie, Lucas Toys, a record player, Stella's science kit, posters that were removed due to copyright infringement, whoopee cushions, etc. There is also an unused photo of Stella. There's an unfinished cutscene with a panel on the top right corner, and finally there's an unused tutorial sprite for Stella and her friends. Now that Angry Birds Stella is finished, let's talk about the Bad Piggies unused content. This is the final game I am going to review for Angry Birds, at least for now. Maybe I'll do like Angry Birds 2 later on if you want that. Just let me know. But anyways, let's begin with unused stuff. First off is Bomb. Bomb would have launched himself using the slingshot, and most likely would have been like TNT exploding. There are sprites that are not used there, but there are launch and defeated sprites for him. Next up is a miner helmet that Ross would have worn somewhere. It might have been used in the road to El Porcado, as it is with the same accessory sheet as the Adventurer's hat, and there was no hat when Mechanic Pig's hat levels were released. It probably would have worked as the light, because Ross has a light to see in the cave levels of the road to El Porcado, but it was later replaced by the Adventurer's hat to give more of an adventure feeling. It also might have been an early version for the night vision goggles power-up, because both emit light. For the next 4 unused stuff, I'm just going to go rapid fire because it's the same sprite sheet, and the video is probably long enough by now. There's an injured Big in a box, which is likely a placeholder for a normal part. There's a Christmas Spring, which is also a sprite for white and red custom parts. The reason why it's unused is unknown. There's an unused sprite for a green box, which is transparent and was likely an unused alien version of the wooden box, and there's a bit in cake for cake race. It goes unused for unknown reasons, probably would have worked like an icon. Next up is a monster wheel that was seen in version 1.4. The wheel itself can go through walls and other solid objects, and it can also make a vehicle bouncy. Using mods, you can restore the monster wheel. It was later removed in updates and never had any skins. And finally, there's a couple of unused Ross faces. In the files of the game, there are two unused faces for Ross. There's an alternate scared face and annoyed face. Compared to the other Ross faces, both of the faces are slightly larger than the used faces. The unused Ross faces also kind of looks like just the glitches in Bad Piggies. If you've ever seen Bad Piggies, you know what I'm talking about. There's just glitches where his eyes just kind of just disappear out of nowhere. To start off, part of in-game Atlas file has images for the record video and takes screenshots buttons, but they were unused. Next up is some achievement icons, which were used in the iOS version, but not in the Windows version. Next up is an ad for Angry Birds Tunes. And finally, there's a dummy texture, which is a checkboard pattern and says added terrain texture. Default fill texture also has the same image of this dummy image. This is also used in the Android version of Bad Piggies. A file named Tunes Transition has a transition for the Tunes.tv sound effect, but because Tunes.tv now goes unused in the PC version, and it does not exist anymore, instead of redirection to the official Angry Birds channel, it now goes unused. This is the final section of the video, and this is possibly the longest, so let's begin. Toggle game mode. Toggle between the cake race preview mode and none. Clear downloaded asset bundles. Delete cached pictures from hidden loot crates downloaded online. Reset progress. Resets progress and generates a new save for everything except player level. 1-star all levels, which 1-stars all levels for a save. 3-star all levels but 1. 3-stars almost all the levels for a save. The excluded level is randomized each time. 3-stars, 3-star all, 3-stars all the levels for a save. Instead of just but 1, I don't know what that one's for. Sandbox, all star boxes, make status show 40 out of 40 stars collected for all sandboxes for the save. Unlimited sandbox parts adds 100x max cap of each resource to a save for all sandboxes. Set low/default target FPS forces the game to run at 25 FPS instead of 60 FPS like it normally is for a session. Can toggle back to 60 FPS later. Unlock all levels, which unlocks all or some if trial levels with a 0-star rating for a save. Restore IAPs unlocks all one-time IAPs for a save. Reset IAPs removes all one-time IAPs for a save. Add 10 auto builds, adds 10 super mechanics to a save. Add wooden crate, adds a wooden crate opening process to a save, can be used multiple times. Add metal crate is like the wooden crate, except it's a metal crate processing for opening process for a save. And same with the golden crate, instead of metal or wooden, it's golden. Add 10 glue, magnet, turbo, and night vision. Add 10 times of the super glue, magnets, turbochargers, and night vision power-ups to a save. Unlock all sandboxes, which unlocks all the sandboxes for a save. Unlock Field of Dreams, which unlocks Field of Dreams for a save without getting the IAP on it. Unlocks Little Pig Adventure, unlocks Little Pig Adventure for a save without spending snout coins. Unlock iOS full version, which has no effect on Android and is a leftover iOS debugging feature. Mimic 1.8.0 install version, game needs to be restarted. tells the game to mimic installation of version 1.8.0 for the next boot. Unlocked and 3-star race exempt for the last 3 stars, but the last cake race level for a save. Add some desserts. Add a portion of desserts for feeding King Pig for a save. Multiple uses grants more. Enable basic mechanic unlocks the premium mechanics for a save. Test force update. You must relaunch the app manually. Tells the game to simulate a forced update installation on the next boot. Set force update timer to 1 minute. You must relaunch the app manually. Tells the game the time in 1 minute to force the update on the next boot. Unlock all 3 levels, no effect on Android. It is technically the full version of the game with ads. Reset snout intro. Reset snout coins intro for a save. Add 1,000 snout coins as 1,000 of them for a save. To a save. Add 100 scrap. Adds approximately 100 scrap to a save. Reset double reward. Resets the reward time for double rewards via ads while active. Add double reward time as the 30-minute reward time for double ads via ads. Double rewards via ads. Consume double reward time 5 minutes. Consume 5 minutes of the reward time. Double rewards via ads while active. Unlocks all custom parts, which unlocks all custom vehicle parts for a save. Unlocks all common parts, all rare parts, all epic and all legendary parts, which are all vehicle parts. Unlock all craftable items, which unlocks all the craftable items. Reset workshop tutorial. Resets the tutorial for the FTUE at the scrap machine for a save. Reset craze pop-up. Crate craze pop-up. Reset the pop-up for the crate craze shop offer. New process purchases allows the game to use IAPs, can be toggled off, but is defaulted on. Crash client crashes the game, but does not work for some reason. Forced garbage collection forces the game to collect garbage for whatever that means. Schedule a notification 1 minute makes the game schedule a notification after 1 minute. Schedule a notification 1 minute in 30 seconds after makes the game schedule a notification for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Schedule notification 2 minutes does the same thing but for 2 minutes. Use faster notification schedule makes the game use a faster notification schedule, can be toggled back defaulted to real time. Clear player prefs and empties the content in the version 2 player prefs XML file. Ask about notifications again, make the game ask about turning on and off notifications. Get all but one customization. Unlocks almost all customizations, but just like the 3-star level being randomized, one of them is excluded. Level up to your level. Reset level to 1, changes your level value to 1, so level to 5, changes your level value to 5. Force local game configuration false, which requires a 3-star, forces the game to not use a local game configuration file in the next boot. Current cup, cake race, cup X, advance to the next cup. Advance to the next cup cannot be done with if the player level show also shows enable rank sheet. Enable rank sheet sets your player rank in the leaderboard of cake race maybe. Reset cup cheats, reset your cake race rank and leaderboard standing to original values. Generate test leaderboard, generate test cake race leaderboard where you can modify the amount and player rank. Clear test leaderboard, remove the test leaderboard, only shows if a test leaderboard is present. Reset alien machine, makes the game go back to the original scrap machine for a save. Reset cake race unlock, makes the game do the FTUE for unlocking cake race for a save. Skip cake race tutorial, makes the game skip the tutorial for cake race for a save. And finally, back to main menu. This is the most important one of all, guys. It sends you back to the main menu. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, if you want to see, before I end it off, if you guys want to see my next week's video where I just fix all the issues I had in my previous videos, go watch it, and actually, I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.